Okay, let's go.
Yo, how's practice going?
Pretty good. We ran good. We've already practiced box off heavy. We did that one practice and we did great times. Then we just practiced, or we already practiced camp, and we did great on those, did a couple sessions. And we practiced reapers, they're pretty good. There's still some spots I can improve, so we're gonna keep working on it. Alright guys, just woke up here on Saturday morning at Jacksonville, race number 4 for FOAS. Today I'll be running 3 classes. We'll be running Senior Champ, Reaper Medium, and Box Stock Heavy. Today there should be a good Box Stock Heavy turnout. I mean, good enough for us. There's Jeff, somebody I used to race with a long time ago at Hope Sound. He showed up today. And then we're racing Keith will be on his race. Ron, but Eli won't be here tonight. But hopefully we can get some good laps in, and this is my favorite track, so I wanna race it.
Listen, man.
Let me put on some new tires.
Yeah, all right. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got.
Don't know if I want to burn or decide on you when I have
This is literally 4 laps. Look at these tires already. That's crazy. So I know. I'm thinking about old tires for the first heat race and then do something different.
I think I just run old tires all day.
Let's do it. You want on that? All right. You heard that right there on video. He running old tires. I'm running new tires. We're gonna make this competition today. That's what I told him. But he just made a deal. He's only running old tires today.
Oh,
that's the deal that we just made. That's the deal that we just made.
We're a little faster today on the yellow, but we haven't ran Reaper.
No, that's not the deal that
I thought I heard all day.
rewind that tape.
I think I just run old tires all day.
Let's do it. You want on that? All right. You heard that right there on video. He running old tires. I'm running new tires. We're gonna make this competition today.
You know how to use that thing?
Alright, time for first heat of the day here in Jacksonville for Box Stock Heavy. Starting 3rd, I believe. Hopefully we get a good race here. We have Keith and Ron, who are both been pretty fast today.
What about Jeff?
I mean, I've raced Jeff back in Hope Sound, so we'll see if he does good. He hasn't raced in a while. Yeah, so it looks like I'm actually starting 2nd and not 3rd. So I have to make sure to hold my spot off the line, which can be difficult with this right turn in the track.
I don't even know if Jeff knows how to turn right.
He might not. He's only turned left his whole career. Alright, coming to the last corner, we start here. We get a okay start around the outside. And Keith's gonna get alongside me, and he's gonna be even with me going to the corner. Clean through the hairpin and the right turn, but Keith's able to pull ahead off the start.
Ron's just leaving you guys.
I know, Rhonda's having a Sunday drive out front. But now we're starting to catch Ron because we're not battling behind us. There we go ahead and get by Ron. Now I just gotta focus on Keith now and make sure I stay as close to him as possible.
I don't think Keith is going to make any mistakes this race.
No, he's a pretty smooth driver.
Seems like you can drive a lot deeper into that corner than Keith could.
Yeah, I was able to outbrake him through there, which helped me get through the right turn better. But then I was losing time out of the final corner, going out of the front stretch. So it was just a mix. Like, he was faster than me in one section, but I was faster than him through the hairpin.
You catch up to him fast on that back stretch there.
Yeah, Keith doesn't have a ported motor, which really hurts him on a big track like this with that long straight. And he was saying after the race that he felt my motor pushing him. We got a caution now.
Yeah, both KSRs too.
Looks like Ron spun. Or got spun by Jeff.
What's your plan now to pass Keith?
Well, right now I don't think I can pass Keith off the start. I just gotta make sure I don't get passed because I got the two drivers behind me. But my plan is just to stay as close to Keith as possible and break away like we did last start.
Because Keith knows right where you passed him last year. He's probably not going to let that happen again.
Yeah, last year I told him where I was gonna pass him before the race, and then I ended up doing it. Which is like really where me and Keith started racing. I was racing in Junior 3, and he was in box stock heavy. And I passed him for the win at this track, so he knows where to block for sure.
And you like pushing him down the straight.
Yeah, I just got a lot more speed on him. See, I looked to see if I can make a move, but I decided not to because it was too far.
You guys had some great racing. I think every person standing on the fence and standing at the grid was like all eyes on you and Keith. I don't know what Jeff was doing back there. We love you, Jeff. Oh, I thought you had him right there.
Yeah, I gave him the bumper to see how it would react, but I went a little too deep also. White flag's out. I go to make the pass, and Keith's gonna slide back under me.
Oh, he got you.
I think I moved one lap too late, and then I tried to brake early, but it just wasn't enough.
That was a good show.
It was fun for sure.
How about this kid here? I know Scale says you were heavy all day.
I could feel it every lap. Hey, push your bike around, buddy. You were there, I was like, oh. I knew what you were gonna do. That's what you got me last time with.
Yeah, I figured that's
I'm like, I'm protecting that line this
I
time.
know, I had to just go up there and just do it.
That was fun, man.
That was fun.
I had another 45. 15 was fun.
That was fun. Alright, senior champ starting third behind Jake and Ron. See how this goes.
We were making some darn good time in the champ during practice, that's for sure.
Yeah, we were doing great, and right there I'm able to get alongside Ron. And then I tried to go in the corner, and I hit Ron going in. We just didn't have enough space to go through that corner. So caution comes out, but I'll be starting third again, and hopefully this time I can get a better start up the line.
I was actually surprised how well the champ did at this track. I knew we were nervous about it, but when we first put it down for practice, I was actually very surprised how well it did.
Yeah.
As far as the bucking and all, it did
Yeah,
great.
I agree. I figured the champ was going to be really bad through that right-hand corner, but it seemed to handle pretty good.
Restart.
Able to get a okay restart. Fell back pretty far though. And here I just need to focus on getting by Ron pretty much as fast as possible so that Jake doesn't run away and I still have a chance of catching him. Because you can see how far of a gap Jake's already built up. There, I'm able to get alongside Ron again and able to make the pass, and now I gotta focus on catching up to Jake.
Watch how fast you close this gap. That's ridiculous. Just a few laps, you're catching up big time.
Yeah, I was making some major gains on Jake. It took me a second to get dialed in, but once I was gaining a 10th to 2 every lap.
I mean, look at that right there.
And it's crazy how much faster these champs feel when you're in them, besides when you're actually in a flat cart going much faster.
Well, you were making almost the same time you were making in your flat cart, in your champ cart.
Yeah, I was actually going a little faster in the champ,
Right.
which was surprising. We've never done that before. So the champ handled great at this track, and I was really surprised.
You're closing up pretty fast.
Yeah, I've already gained a lot of time. Before, he was about half a straightaway ahead, and now I've closed in a couple kart lengths. And the one thing I really like about this track is you have this really long, high-speed straight into that flat-out corner, into a really tight corner that you have to brake hard for. It just makes it really fun. And then after that, of course, you have the right-hander, which no other track I race at has. So it's just unique in its own way.
I mean, you guys right now pretty much running your own race, and you were making tracks on him. I mean, Jake's really fast too, and I mean, you were catching up pretty solid.
Yeah, I was just able to. My main spot I was catching him was in that tight corner in the hairpin, and I was just making big time. And about here, he looks back and sees me, and then starts almost overdriving. And you see Ron's going slow there, and it turns out he had a hole in his motor, and he blew up.
Yeah, like really blew up. Man, I felt bad for Ron and Mike. Yeah, the gap's closed now.
Gap's closed a lot. And there you can see he gets sideways, and it looks like I hit him, but he got sideways, and then I spun into him. And
that's where everybody thought that was a caution.
Yeah, we all thought there was a caution, including me, and then Jake just floored it and went a whole straightaway ahead. I was really confused, and definitely cost me the race, possibly.
I thought it was the heat, but you also started catching up to him again. If you'd had a few more laps, you would have been back to the same spot.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate the way things worked out, because I was getting really close and was about to make a pass, and it turned out it was no caution. I didn't see him. mad there.
Yeah, you just about beat the steering wheel off that cart backstretch over there.
Alright, well, that
Yeah.
totally sucks. Guess we learned a lesson there.
Yeah, you see how he gets a little loose coming around that corner a few times.
Yeah, he's driving really hard through there. Which is he's really struggling through that corner.
Yeah, I think everybody was kind of confused with the caution deal.
Yeah. But white flag lap, and I've caught up a good amount from when we spun. But it just sucks the way things worked out because I could possibly got that heat win. But things wouldn't get to me. But still got second. Alright, now we start Reaper medium, and somehow my mom drew a perfect pill when I got the pull. And Reaper, we don't ever really put too much focus into. It's kind of just a class for fun because I get to race a bunch of karts. So we were hoping we could do the best in Reaper, and I only practiced it once up to this point of this track. So we'll see how it goes.
You kept asking me, but man, it's kind of like once you got the Vegas, you know, dialed in, the Reaper's just a gear change away normally, but I know you probably needed to spend more time, but
Yeah,
it was hot.
It was hot.
Change gears 300 times a day gets kind of annoying also.
Here I kind of get a bad launch and actually get challenged to the lead really early, but able to keep it on the inside. You can see Reapers through there is just really rough, but this corner is the corner I was having the most trouble with. I would just wash out so high, and then they would just be able to drive it straight off the bottom like you did there.
Hey, look. Oh, I thought that was Keith behind me.
It is Keith.
It is Keith. Keith's always there. Keith, why are you always there?
Keith's always fast in Reapers. It also helps when you have two carts and you can change the setup to Reapers, but
You guys got a pretty good race going on up front.
yeah, Reapers are always a good race. It's just, I can never really find enough speed in them. And here you can see I make a move on Keith. And we go too wide for a little bit, but he's able just to motor past me in the backstretch.
Well, Keith's always there, but he always knows you're there too, I think. Ooh,
There's some racing behind us, and
yeah.
they're coming pretty quick. You see Keith and them are racing up front too. And I try to hold it on the inside of the blue card on the outside, but he's able just to tiptoe his way around.
This was a lot better race than I remember. Well, except for now.
And
There you
then
go.
I fell way back. I shoot up way too high. I outbraked myself really hard. And then I fell back a couple carts.
That seems about par for the course of the Reapers. You got about 6-8 laps, and then it's like, yep, well, that was fun.
Yeah, Reapers kind of fall flat. It doesn't matter if you have new Reapers or 5 race old Reapers at the end. They're all about the same. See how you get past there again.
I think if we played with your cart a lot more with the Reapers, we'd probably do a lot better, but that's tough to race everything in one cart.
Yeah, and we're debating on dropping Reapers, so comment down below if you guys think I should keep going with Reapers or if I should drop it and focus on Vegas more.
Keith staying out there too, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, but Swamp Donkey is holding the lead from Keith pretty well.
Yeah, and he was talking about he wasn't as fast as you in practice, and then look at him, leads the whole dang race.
Yeah, he thought I was gonna walk away from him, but he's the one walking away from me.
Yeah. You did pass some good times in practice, though.
Yeah, I was moving in practice. I just wasn't able to finish dialing my lines through 3 and 4, or 4 and 5. I don't know which corners it is.
The non-opposite corner.
Yeah.
One lap to go. Running older tires, and you can tell, that's for sure.
Oh, he's pulling away a lot.
Yeah, you can see Keith got past, which allowed him to pull away. And checkered flag, and we finished 5th, I believe. Alright, now we have box stock heavy feature, and we put on new tires for this race.
I did ask you if you wanted to buff those tires before we went on the track. And you said, nah, we
And
should be
I said
good.
no, but you can see the tires gripped up really hard out of that corner, which allowed Ron by. But I able to switch right back underneath him and pushed up really hard.
Whoa.
And smoked a cone.
I didn't know you took a cone out. I couldn't see it from where
I didn't
was
know
standing.
either.
Better be glad Dan didn't see that. Might get a cone award at the end of the year.
Yeah. Keith knows about the cone award at Bushnell.
Yeah, he drug one around for a while. And there goes Keith, just leaving.
I should have kept my promise with him and not put on new tires.
Yep. Well, get around Ron. Now it's time to make some.
Make some tracks.
Try to gain the Blue Thunder Triton up there. Gone.
Try to run down Keith.
But you can see right there, just ran off the track. Nice and easy.
Jeff's gonna beat you here in a second.
Jeff was coming for it.
Jeff showed up with like 3-year-old tires and almost gonna beat you.
Yeah, I'm finally making some more tracks back onto Ron after I ran off the track. So hopefully I can pass him here and get my focus back on Keith. And there I spin. I went to make a move on Ron, but I decided to back out and it was too late. I locked at the brakes and I spun.
I was pretty confused of what the heck was going on this race with you.
Yeah, the new tires really locked down the cart, so it just wanted to push, which made it really difficult to drive.
I was gonna walk back to the motorhome and get in the AC and let you finish up by yourself.
Probably should have.
Sorry about filming.
Or you think your tire's probably just now coming in?
Yeah, possibly. It's just hard because you got that waxy layer on top that really, it takes a while to wear off. It's always better to scuff them either in practice or in the sander, but I decided not to sand them, which definitely did not help.
Yeah, it's hard to keep reminding you of that.
Traffic is going to
Jeff's blocking you good.
Yeah, finally able to get by him. Finally was able to make up my mind on where to pass him. And now we got to get Ron again. And Ron was having a good day in his flat cart.
You spend all day trying to get around Ron.
Yeah, Ron knows when to block and knows how to block. He makes his cart like as wide as the straightaways.
There goes Keith.
Yep, Keith was just stretching out, man. Here I finally make my move on Ron. Able to drive it off the inside. And now, for like the 5th time, I have to focus on Keith again.
Goes up to second.
Yep.
Got a lot of laps.
I'm gonna fast forward just to speed it up. And I was making some time on Keith here, but every time I make time, I would lose. Oh, and Jeff, what are we doing?
Staying green.
Jeff, I think it just spun around trying to see where you were at.
I think Jeff had a gust of wind over there. But every time I would catch up a little bit every lap on Keith, and then I'd make a mistake and I'd fall back. So I was gaining time for sure, but I just wasn't consistent enough to catch up.
I think after the non-cautioning, your champ cart kind of weighed a little bit on this race also. You were pretty frustrated.
Yeah, I was a little annoyed with that.
Alright, these carts are so spread out now. 5 to go.
And
5 laps.
5 laps to go now. Once again, we're going to speed it back up.
A lot of laps.
Yeah, 25 laps definitely took a toll. White flag lap. And last lap to catch Keith, even though definitely not going to. He was gone.
Not gonna make it.
And round the corner to get second, which is still good for championship hopes. I have a lot of wins for in Box Talk Heavy, so 1 second place won't hurt too bad. But good job, Keith, on the win.
Here, this guy with the
He
flop.
was gripped to the track so bad.
You went off the track pretty good one time. Hey, you were coming now, buddy. You got hung up in
Hold
traffic.
that thing out of the way.
Listen, old man moves at his own speed.
Let's go. Let's not be rude to Keith. Let's get on the route. We gotta get the champ cart.
Alright, senior champ feature, and I'm starting second. And hopefully I can get a good start because the last couple starts were pretty bad and I lost a lot of time. So I actually get a good start, able to stay alongside. And going in this corner, I just knew I had to keep Ron off. Because if Ron got by me, it was going to be a mess because Ron knows how to block. And Jake would have left. All of us were on new tires, so there was no waiting around to the end of the race to see if the tires were going to fall off. If we were going to make a move, we had to make it fast or we had to make it way late.
We actually took the tires off your flat cart from the Box Stock Heavy race and put it on your champ, didn't we?
Yeah, we weren't going to make the same mistake twice
Right.
that we did. And there you can see I passed Jake He's going backwards because he actually was. He blew up, which sucks for my 2 golden motors in a day is not helpful.
Yeah, it was a tough day for their team, man.
Yeah, a lot of stress on the motors at this track.
And everybody's looking forward to you guys racing too, so.
Yeah, it was going to be a great race, especially because we were both really fast. And I was a little faster. I was starting second, so I was able to close in and make a move. But it sucks it happened. And now white flag lap. And I really needed this win because it's double points for the championship. So if I got this win, I would be sitting really good in the championship.
Have you done Junior 2 and 3?
Championship. Third.
Because he didn't leave me at the store, so we were gonna have a good one. I was looking
Now we're changing everything for the Reapers.
Set it black.
I was like, Mother didn't take it easy, got wrong behind the track.
But I just wanted to get to the point where I could see Ron coming out of that final corner, so I know if
I
the game.
didn't see him in your front view side.
Oh, I stopped going for a long time. Before
I was gonna
halfway,
save the motor.
coasting.
You know Reg building this motor for like a sponsorship motor?
Did they really?
Hey, that's 2 of their motors they broke. That's crazy.
All right, Kale.
I don't know what they're gonna do when he like this race complete.
We did great in Champ. I mean, the first race in Champ was a little rough. I was mad because Jake spun in front of me and then I hit him and I thought there was a caution, but there wasn't ever a caution. So then he just left the whole straightaway. So it was impossible to catch him from that point. And I was looking forward to a good race at the feature, but Jake blew up,
See through Jake's motor.
which sucks. I saw the white smoke come out and him pull up. I'm like, well, there just went that. But it's still a fun race, and now we're gonna go mess around in some Reapers. All right, Reaper medium feature, and should be starting 5th because of last heat race. I fell back a lot, so we'll see how this goes. Starting 5th is always a fun spot because you have a couple people behind you and you have a lot of people in front of you. So it makes it fun because you have to defend and still try to pass at the same time. And Swamp Donkey's on the pole, but every driver in this heat or in this feature had new tires. So, and he didn't have new tires, so he was really starting at a disadvantage because Reapers, especially with these long races we're doing at Jacksonville, you only get about 1 set per race on asphalt, which is really demanding.
Hey, there's Keith again.
Yeah, Keith's always up front somehow. Well, not somehow, he knows what he's doing. Right now, starting from 5th, I'm making some moves, and I'm pretty much up to 3rd. But Junior's going to try to get by. But I'm going to go down the inside again.
You guys were having a pretty good
And
race.
coming down the backstretch, my motor made a really weird noise. Like it hit the gas. Well, I was on the gas the whole straight, but then it went pop, pop, pop. And I wasn't too happy about that.
I see you telling me it's biscuits right there, but I'm like, it sounds perfect.
So I did 1 lap just to see if it would do it. And it did it again coming down the straight. So I just decided it's probably better to pull off. Because the last couple times we ran this motor, it's done the same thing to us.
I think we've
So-
been beating on that motor for so many races. Every time we pull the string, it doesn't stop all day long.
Yeah, 3 classes is too much.
Even though we changed. race you were gonna
doing
do
good, man.
on it. And
I was finally doing good. Got up to third, and then yep, I was doing that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the motor at all. It sounds totally fine. It's not
That's
smoking
good
or
news.
nothing. Maybe it was more tired than you were.
In total today, we did really good. I'm happy. We kind of messed up on the box stock heavy. We put on new tires that were brand new, and we didn't scuff them. So they just had way too much grip at the start, and I just pushed really bad. So ended up getting second in that. And then champ, Jake blew up, so I won champ. Was looking forward to a good race, but it happens. And then obviously Reaper didn't go well. I was going to third, well, I was in third, and then the motor didn't have an issue, so I pulled off. But we'll see. The motor sounds fine, so we should be all good, and we'll be back strong for next race.